Alright, so today we're talking about plant adaptations. An adaptation is a modification of something that's different, something that's changed to help an organism survive. And we're going to go through several of them today. The first one right here are called tendrils. Tendrils are vines. You don't need to draw the pictures, just write the words. Tendrils are like vines. Typically, you're going to see tendrils where plants need to reach high up to get sunlight. Sunlight's not easy for the plant to get to, so it sends out these tendrils, like these really long arms with leaves on the end. Like, oh, let me get some sunlight, let me get some sunlight. Okay, oh, there it is. So these tendrils or vines help get sunlight from far away. Right? This next one down here at the bottom, I'm sure most of you are familiar with. It's the spines. Now, the spines are used to help protect the plant from animals that would try and eat it. So, like a cactus. Cactus have spines. So spines help protect the plant. You know how roses have thorns on them? Helps protect the plant. So there's 2 adaptations. We've got several more. Some plants have oddly shaped or specially shaped leaves for attracting and digesting insects. So in both of these examples, we've got one is the Venus flytrap over here. And this one, it's another kind of a flytrap. It's got this little flute type thing. But both of their jobs are the same. They're trying to trap insects. So even though these plants are producers, they can make their own food. They're also carnivores. They eat meat. They eat animals. Kind of neat. Staying with leaves and attracting and getting insects to come to them, some plants have small flowers that can hardly be seen, so that insects have the large colorful leaves which to attract insects for pollination. So in our example here, we've got these brightly colored leaves. Animals love to see things that are brightly colored, especially insects. Insects are going to go to this brightly colored leaf, and when they do, they're going to rub up against all the pistil and the stamen of the flower and get pollen all on it, and fly over to the next flower and rub up all over that and drop some pollen in the next flower. And so that's how we get more flowers. Now, if a red flower goes to, if an insect lands on a red flower and then goes to a white flower, we might get a pink flower. So the brightly colored leaves attract insects for pollination. Okay. This one down here at the bottom The focus for this one is the roots. Now, plants need to get water in order to survive. We learned that. Well, our example down here of this like cactus, it has special root system to meet the needs for getting water. Some plants have large root systems that grow near the surface of the ground where they can collect rainwater quickly. So think about a cactus living in a desert. Okay? You got this cactus in the desert. And rain comes at a premium. Water is very scarce in the desert. It hardly rains there. But sometimes it does. Well, that plant is going to want to get that water as soon as possible. So it's not going to have roots way down deep in the ground. No, it's going to have roots way up high, really close to the water. And so these root systems, their job is to get water easily and quickly. Okay? We've got a few more. So kind of talking about going back to those tendrils. Kind of going back to those tendrils. Some plants are climbers, and they have roots exposed to the air. These don't come in contact with soil, but usually help anchor the plant to its support. Remember, the job of the root is is to anchor the plant and to help get water. Well, if we have air roots, which are what we call these, its job is still to try and anchor it. It's going to hang on to another tree. It's going to hang on to another plant, maybe the side of a building, a fence. It's going to do whatever it can to try and hold itself on, because it doesn't want to fly away in the wind. It doesn't want some animal coming by and knocking it over, and then it can't grow anymore. So it's looking for any kind of a way to anchor itself in. Okay. These exposed roots are helping it to anchor something else. Now, they're also probably grabbing water from rain, moisture in the air, but their job is to try and anchor it to something else. All right? So, we talked about spines. Here we're talking about thorns. Thorns are sharp-pointed, leafless branches some plants use for protection. So thorns, again, are for protection. And I use the example of the rose bush or the rose flower. All right. And our last one. Some plants have needle-shaped leaves to conserve water. The leaves can be seen in groups of 2 or 3 or appear to be like scales. So conifers have needle-shaped leaves. Think about a pine tree. Okay? It's got needle-shaped leaves. Well, if it's got a smaller leaf, like a needle in the shape of a needle, it doesn't have to use as much water to make its food. It can help save some of that water. So needle-shaped leaves help save water. So based on all of this, you can kind of tell a little bit about a plant just by looking at it. You can make some inferences about if maybe other animals are trying to eat it, or what it's trying to accomplish, or if it might survive in a place that has very little water.